During the 1970s and early 1980s, Hong Kong experienced its golden age of martial arts cinema. While Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest dominated the industry, a vibrant scene of independent studios operated alongside them. Companies like Seasonal Film, Hwa International Films, and others produced films that often matched or even surpassed the majors in creativity, innovation, and raw energy. These independent productions, often co-productions with Taiwan, were frequently more daring, featured emerging talent, and experimented with new fighting styles and choreography. In this video, we present the 20 best independently produced martial arts films from Hong Kong's golden age, films not made by Shaw Brothers or Golden Harvest. Let's begin with number 20 and count down to the very best. At number 20 we have 18 Bronzemen, released in 1976 and directed by Joseph Kuo for the studio Hwa International Films. A young fighter enters the Shaolin Temple and faces a brutal trial against the legendary 18 Bronzemen, a gauntlet of bronze-painted warriors, to prove himself worthy of learning the temple's secret martial arts. It's simple, but incredibly effective. With solid direction from Joseph Kuo and committed performances including Tian Peng and Carter Wong, this film helped popularize the idea of the trial by combat training gauntlet, a concept that would echo through countless Shaolin films that followed. Number 19 is The Loot, released in 1980 and directed by Eric Sang for the independent studio Goodyear Movie Company. Fast, chaotic, and full of surprises. This under-the-radar gem delivers creative and highly entertaining indie action. Instead of a straight revenge story, this one throws multiple fighters into a tangled web of stolen treasure, shifting alliances, and sudden betrayals. It's unpredictable, and that's exactly what makes it fun. Featuring strong lead performances by David Chang and Norman Sui, The Loot stands out for its inventive fight choreography and resourceful production that punches well above its weight. Number 18 is The Thundering Mantis, released in 1980 and directed by Teddy Yip for the studio East Asia Film. This film starts grounded and then spirals into something much darker. What begins as a standard revenge story builds toward one of the most brutal finales in kung fu cinema. It's intense, unsettling, and impossible to forget. Leung Kar-yan and Eddie Ko deliver grounded, physically demanding performances for the film's raw, no-holds-barred action that still shocks audiences today. Number 17 is Shaolin vs. Lama, released in 1983, an independent Hong Kong-Taiwan co-production directed by Lee So-nam for the studio Tinping. Technically sharp, fast-paced, and packed with personality. The real highlight here is the contrast in styles. Traditional Shaolin techniques clashing with Tibetan martial arts in a series of crisp, rapid exchanges. And, yes, the dubbing, legendary. Led by strong performances from Alexander Lo Ray and Chang Shan, Shaolin vs. Lama stands out not only for its action, but also for its memorable one-liners that have become cult favorites among fans. Number 16 is Legend of a Fighter, released in 1982 and directed by Yuen Wu-ping for the studio Seasonal Film. Before modern biopics, long before Jet Li's Fearless, this film tackled the story of Hwa Yuanjia with surprising depth. It's not just about fights, it's about growth, discipline, and national pride, and when the fights do happen, they feel earned and grounded. Featuring an excellent lead performance by Leung Kar-yan as the adult Hwa Yuanjia, along with Yuan Yat-cho, Legend of a Fighter combines solid storytelling with authentic and emotionally charged fight sequences. Number 15 is Odd Couple, released in 1979 and directed by Lau Kar-wing for the studio Gar Bo. If you love weapon-based combat, this is essential. This film is celebrated for its legendary weapon duels, most notably the spectacular spear versus saber sequences. The story follows two rival martial artists who must team up despite their deep personal animosity. Starring the dynamic duo of Lau Kar-wing and Sammo Hung in the lead roles, Odd Couple delivers some of the most technically brilliant and beautifully choreographed weapon fights of the entire Golden Age. Number 14 is The Victim, also known as Lightning Kung Fu, released in 1980 and directed by Sammo Hung for the studio Griffon Film. This one hits hard, fast, technical, and grounded in realism. The fights feel less like choreography and more like actual combat. It's tense, relentless, and driven by pure physicality. Featuring strong performances by Leung Kar-yan and Sammo Hung, The Victim showcases precise, fast-paced choreography and gritty realism that elevated above many of its contemporaries. Number 13 is Drunken Tai Chi, released in 1984 and directed by Yuen Wu-ping for the studio Peace Film. This film marks the explosive debut of Donnie Yen as a leading actor. The story follows a carefree young man who masters the unorthodox drunken style of Tai Chi to defend his family against ruthless enemies. With Yuen Wu-ping's signature fluid choreography and Donnie Yen's remarkable athleticism, Drunken Tai Chi delivers acrobatic, fast-paced action that announced one of Hong Kong's future action stars. Number 12 is The Buddhist Fist, released in 1980 and directed by Yuen Wu-ping for the studio Peace Film, more grounded, more traditional. Considered one of Yuen Wu-ping's most authentic kung fu films, it emphasizes realistic techniques and traditional martial arts philosophy over flashy spectacle. A young monk has to learn the powerful Buddhist fist style to protect his temple. Featuring solid performances by Yuan Xunyi and Cui Xiuming, The Buddhist Fist stands out for its disciplined choreography and genuine respect for classical kung fu traditions. Interestingly, this film was a true family affair. While Yuen Wu-ping directed and his brother Yuan Xunyi starred, their father Yuan Shutian and another brother Yuan Chungyan also appear in supporting roles, making it a complete showcase of the legendary Yuen Clan's talent. Number 11 is Yes, Madam, released in 1985 and directed by Corey Yuen for the studio D&B Films. And here, the genre shifts. Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock take center stage in a fast, modern action film that blends martial arts with crime and urban combat. It's sharp and groundbreaking, helping launch a new wave of female-led action cinema in Hong Kong. With explosive choreography by Corey Yuen, Yes, Madam delivers high-impact fights and strong female leads at a time when such roles were still rare, marking a significant shift in Hong Kong action cinema and starting the girls with guns subgenre. Number 10 is Ninja in the Dragon's Den, released in 1982 and directed by Corey Yuen for Seasonal Film. This is where things get fast, really fast. At a time when most kung fu films stayed within traditional Chinese styles, this film throws something new into the mix, a full-on clash and eventual alliance between kung fu and ninjutsu. What follows is a showcase of speed, precision, and high-flying acrobatics that feels ahead of its time even today. With rising stars like Conan Lee and Hiroyuki Sanada, and inventive choreography that constantly pushes movement to its limits, this film stands as one of the most exciting cross-style experiments of the era. Number 9 is The Invincible Armor, released in 1977 and directed by Ng Se-yuen for the studio Lai Hwa. This is kung fu at its most unforgiving. The film dives deep into the concept of iron body training, where a fighter conditions himself to become nearly immune to physical damage. And it doesn't just tell you that, it makes you feel it. Every strike lands with weight, every training sequence feels punishing. Starring Hwang, Jang-lee and Lee Hoi-sang, The Invincible Armor stands out as one of the most iconic examples of hard-style kung fu ever put on screen. Number 8 is The Seven Grandmasters, released in 1977 and directed by Joseph Kuo for Honghua. Simple idea, great execution. A kung fu fighter sets out to challenge 7 masters, each representing a different style and philosophy of combat. That structure allows the film to constantly evolve, with each encounter introducing new techniques, rhythms, and strategies. It's less about story and more about progression, about learning, adapting, and proving yourself step by step. With Li Yimin and Jack Long Shichia in the main roles, The Seven Grandmasters is one of the purest showcases of traditional kung fu diversity from the entire era. Number 7 is Born Invincible, released in 1978 and directed by Joseph Kuo for Honghua. This film is built around a single terrifying idea. What if your opponent simply couldn't be hurt? The villain's iron body technique turns every fight into a puzzle because brute force just doesn't work. That forces the film to get creative, building tension through desperation, strategy, and increasingly brutal attempts to find a weakness. Starring Carter Wong in the lead role alongside Lo Lie, Born Invincible features intense training sequences and brutal confrontations that define the peak of the hard-style kung fu subgenre. Number 6 is Dance of the Drunk Mantis, released in 1979 and directed by Yuen Wu-ping for Seasonal Film. This is where style meets spectacle. Combining the unpredictability of drunken boxing with the precision of mantis kung fu, the film delivers some of the most dynamic and physically demanding choreography of its time. Every movement feels exaggerated but controlled, loose but deadly. And at the center of it all is Yuen Clan, bringing both humor and mastery to the role of the Drunken Master. It's fast, flashy, and endlessly entertaining, a perfect bridge between traditional kung fu and the more expressive, character-driven style that would soon take over the genre. We've seen raw classics, cult favorites, and technical showcases. Now we're entering the elite tier. Number 5 is Secret Rivals, released in 1976 and directed by Ng Se-yuen for Seasonal Film. This film marked the breakthrough for the legendary villain Silver Fox. But what really makes this film special is its structure. Two rival martial artists who must join forces, combining their styles to take down a seemingly unbeatable opponent. It's a formula that would be copied again and again, but rarely done this well. Starring John Liu, Wang Tao, and Jang-lee as the formidable Silver Fox, Secret Rivals is celebrated for lightning-fast kicks, sharp choreography, and a constant sense of escalation that helped define the rhythm and structure of late 70s kung fu storytelling. Number 4 is The Mystery of Chess Boxing, released in 1979 and directed by Joseph Kuo for the studio Hwa. This film doesn't just give us great fights, it gives us one of the most unforgettable villains in martial arts history, the ghost-faced killer. Everything about him is eerie, and every time he appears, the tension spikes instantly. Starring Lee Yi-min as the protagonist and Mark Long-Kwan-woo as the terrifying ghost-faced killer, The Mystery of Chess Boxing blends revenge storytelling with highly stylized martial arts, building toward a series of increasingly creative and intense confrontations. It's strange, atmospheric, and completely iconic, exactly the kind of bold creativity that defined the independent scene. These next 3 films didn't just define the indie scene, they helped shape martial arts cinema as a whole. Number 3 is Master of the Flying Guillotine, released in 1976 and directed by Jimmy Wang Yu for the studio First Films. This legendary grindhouse cult classic stands as one of the most iconic and visually striking martial arts films of the Golden Age. A blind assassin armed with a deadly, decapitating weapon hunts down his enemies in a series of surreal encounters. Each fight feels like its own challenge, with wildly different styles and fighters from across the martial arts world. Jimmy Wang Yu not only directs but also stars in the lead role, delivering a powerful and intense performance opposite the unforgettable villain portrayed by Chin Kang. With its bizarre yet brilliantly choreographed fight scenes, atmospheric tension, and raw exploitation energy, Master of the Flying Guillotine has earned its place as a true cult favorite that continues to influence filmmakers and captivate audiences decades later. It's chaotic, inventive, and completely unforgettable. Number 2 is Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, released in 1978 and directed by Yuen Wu-ping for Seasonal Film. This groundbreaking film marked the first collaboration between Jackie Chan and director Yuen Wu-ping, forever changing the landscape of Hong Kong martial arts cinema by introducing a new kind of martial arts hero, underdog, playful, and unpredictable. Instead of stoic warriors and tragic revenge, this film leans into humor, creativity, and personality without sacrificing speed or technical precision. Jackie Chan plays a mischievous young student who learns the unorthodox snake-style kung fu from an elderly master to defend himself against the ruthless eagle claw style. Jackie delivers a charismatic and acrobatic lead performance alongside the iconic Yuen Clan as the old beggar, with Jang-lee appearing as the formidable main antagonist. Through its innovative blend of humor, lightning-fast choreography, and inventive animal-style techniques, Snake in the Eagle's Shadow became a massive hit that laid the foundation for the kung fu comedy revolution and propelled Jackie Chan toward international stardom. It remains one of the most beloved examples of the incredible creative synergy between the Yuen family and a young Jackie Chan. And at number 1, the very best independently produced martial arts film from Hong Kong's golden age is Drunken Master, released in 1978 and made more or less by the same team as Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, including Yuen Wu-ping as director for the studio Seasonal Film. If Snake in the Eagle's Shadow started the revolution, this film perfected it as the ultimate breakthrough and pinnacle of the kung fu comedy genre. Jackie Chan plays the rebellious young Wang Fei-hung, who is forced by his strict father to train under the eccentric beggar So and master the unpredictable acrobatic drunken fist style in order to survive deadly confrontations with powerful enemies. Jackie Chan gives a star-making performance full of charisma, physical comedy, and breathtaking athleticism, supported again by the legendary Yuen Clan as the drunken master and the menacing Hwang Jang-lee as the ruthless antagonist. With its perfect balance of outrageous humor, inventive choreography, and exhilarating fight sequences, Drunken Master not only became a massive commercial success, but also redefined Hong Kong action cinema, influencing generations of filmmakers and cementing Jackie Chan's status as a global superstar. Sadly, this would be one of the final performances by the legendary Yuen Clan. He passed away in 1979, shortly after the film's massive success, leaving behind an immortal legacy as the definitive drunken master of cinema. And that concludes our countdown of the 20 best independently produced martial arts films from Hong Kong's Golden Age. Films created outside the dominant Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest studios. These movies showcase the incredible creativity, technical skill, and raw energy that independent studios brought to the genre during its most vibrant era. From groundbreaking comedies and intense grindhouse classics to stylistically brilliant showcases, they remain essential viewing for any fan of classic kung fu cinema. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment with your favorite independent Hong Kong martial arts film, and subscribe for more deep dives into classic action cinema. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.